Hi everyone, welcome back to the series on becoming a fractional CFO. We are on module 6 now. So before I begin, super quick intro on myself. My name is Corin Thompson. I am the CEO and founder of eCap Financial. We work with companies who are either fundraising or going through a buy-side or sell-side M&A process. So in this module, I want to just kind of draw out some sort of key points that I think are important to address as part of scaling up your fractional CFO business and running that basically going forward. So the first thing that I want to say is I touch on quite a lot about sales throughout the different sort of modules. I think one of the main things though is like doing the work for every single client and knocking it out the park. That is what you should do. And that's what you need to use, not only your sort of first 10 engagements or so from, but like going forward. A lot of it is, word of mouth, and you have to make sure that you are getting referrals basically as soon as possible. It's such a powerful way to build a client book or to build new sales. And you do that by doing a great job for other people. So you need to make that, one of your primary kind of focuses when you're then going into fractional CFO work. The second thing is you just need to determine what you want. And I talk in some of these other modules about like understanding yourself and knowing what you want. For some people, they start fractional CFO work because they just want more time on their hands. They want more generalist roles. They want some autonomy over their time and their work and what they're doing. Personally, I wanted to build a business. I wasn't ready to just have more time in my life or, relax a little bit or whatever it might be. But you need to know what works for you. What I'd say is you don't need to know these things on day one, but you can figure them out as you go along and you go through the process. It's all one big learning curve, basically, of life. As I've kind of iterated before, it's this iterative process that you go on. I'd say also be mindful of what you expect and what the reality is. A lot of people say to me that they don't want a boss, and that's why they're doing fractional CFO work, because they don't want a boss. The wake-up call or the reality is that everybody has a boss. Your boss will become the client. For the days, hours, promised output that you said you will deliver to them, they are your boss. And you need to bear that in mind that, fractional CFO work is service-based work, and you have to provide a service. If you want more time in your day, make sure that you structure your day like that. So, if you want autonomy over your time, make sure, and you want to do like yoga in the afternoon or something, make sure you book it in. If you want to take yourself on coffee dates, make sure you book it in. Make your day how you want it to be, but just remember that you do have a boss and you are answerable to them. It's more setting the boundaries and expectations of your day for yourself. The third thing is conflict resolution. This is a big one for me. I hate conflict, but there will be times where you just don't agree with the client. In some cases, you just have to deliver their output. And in other cases, you might need to push back, or you might need to ask for overruns, or you state that, their request just isn't possible. These are not comfortable conversations to have, but I find getting on a call always helps derive the best course of action here. Outline your thoughts, outline your sentiments, but verbally talk these things through. Being a keyboard warrior and sending out emails solves nothing. Getting on a call, even though it doesn't feel great, solves everything. The fourth thing is this concept of trusting your gut. There is a world out there that says that you need to listen to your gut and you trust your gut. I'm not sure I agree or I buy that. I'm someone who harbors a lot of fear in my body and a lot of anxiety in my mind. And if I listened to my gut, I would do nothing. I would never actually go out there and put myself out there and try a new business. Thus, actually, I often try and do the opposite of what my gut is telling me to do. I got out on stage and I present despite the terror I feel. I take on a bigger mandate than I'm used to, so I can really stretch myself. I do a task which I've never done before despite being scared. This is very personal to me, and I know myself relatively well now. But the journey, I'd say, of building a business will really help you understand yourself better, and it'll help you understand, what parts of like wisdom and advice to take and what parts where you say, actually, I'm different to this, or this works for me differently. Another thing I would say is just keep moving forward. I've said this in other modules as well, but there are days where I have sobbed on my husband's shoulder as I didn't have enough work. And there are days when I have sobbed on his shoulder because is too much work. Even in your dark days, create that to-do list, screw your emotions, and just robotically go through that list and make sure it gets done. As I've said in a different module, sometimes the days where I've had like the biggest breakthroughs were the days where I felt the worst, but I've just kept doing those small things. And it's when you look back and you reflect on it, you realize how far you've come and what you've achieved. The final thing I would say as well is that you are responsible for your own life. And I appreciate this statement gets bandied around quite a lot. But the thing with life is that no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to rescue you. You need to figure it out for yourself, and you need to carve your own path in life. If it isn't working out for you, the fractional work, you can always go back to full-time. If it isn't working out for you, fractional work, you maybe need to work on your, work on your sales skills and really hone those. As I said, I did recruitment, and then a phenomenal role came along that I couldn't say no to, and I took it. And I did that then for another 4 years. And when the time was right, I thought, actually, I want to go back to doing fractional work. Again, in sales, if cold outbounding doesn't work for you, try networking events in person. Just keep iterating and changing and updating and trying again. There is always a way that will suit you and will work for you at the time that you need it in your life. But it is your responsibility to figure it out. And it's your responsibility to overcome any emotions, any doubts, any fears, and just try it out. So with that, I'm going to end Module 6 here. Again, like I say, if you have any questions or there's anything you want me to go through in more detail, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thanks very much.